I've got 2 new sensory bottles for you today. If you haven't caught my previous videos, sensory bottles are really good for kids ages 0 to 5, especially babies. They're really awesome to use during tummy time to give them something to distract them or to reach for or to scoot for. And I try to make ones that can kind of grow with my kids as they get older so that they can use them in different ways. This first one, I made these a long time ago, so I looked up a recipe for what you could use for this. Again, if you've seen the other ones, this is a bottle from the store Michael's. It's really nice because when you hot glue it shut, all the hot glue is hidden under the lid. And I think this is one of those water ones from Voss, V-O-S-S, but it's very similar. I liked this kind better, but I didn't know Michael's sold it. So I bought one of these and then I realized that you could just get them at Michael's. I used these beads. These are the ones that you put on these little pegs and then you iron to make coasters and stuff. I think they're called perler beads. I'm hoping that when I show you this, you can laugh at my kind of Pinterest fail and maybe make it a little bit differently. When you flip it over, all these beads are going to slowly rise to the top, and it's like a cool science experiment. My kids love to watch the bubbles, etc. Whatever recipe I used, I don't recall. I used either too much of it or whatever, and so it'll take like a good 10 minutes or so for these beads to actually get to the top of the thing. Some of these are called calm down jars, and the point of them is to switch them over or shake them up or whatever, and then by the time that the bottles settle or the beads rise to the top, your kid can sit there for the length of that duration, and then it's kind of like a timeout or a time in or whatever you want to call it, but they have to sit there and stare at it, and then when it all settles, then they can get up and go back and resume their activity. Well, my poor children, if I used this as a calm down jar, would be stuck there for like 10 minutes, which is way too long for a child. But I looked up a recipe for this just now, and they suggested using 1/4 cup of water. So you just take your empty bottle, fill it with 1/4 cup of water, and then fill it with clear liquid hand soap. So like I said, I don't remember what I used. I'm guessing I used hand soap, but I used the perler beads because they were smaller, and they're like slowly going, but yeah, it'll be a solid 10 minutes before they get up to the top. And then, so you use the 1/4 cup of water, fill it with, put your beads in whenever, and then fill the rest to whenever you want. I've left a little bit of space up here with clear liquid hand soap, and then you hot glue the rim shut, and that's you can use it as a calm down jar or just a fun jar for the kids to play with. So I don't know if you would want to use more water or if I just use the wrong kind of soap. But again, you can Google, Pinterest, YouTube, other recipes and things that would suit your needs. But this is just one example of a different kind of bottle than I've shown before. And then this other one is an example of one that can grow with your kids, or you can make it more of like a science experiment. So this bottle is meant to teach about magnets. So I crumpled up or folded up Chanel stems, pipe cleaners, and I added those little hooks that you can, circles that you can put stuff on, and there's paper clips in here, there's clothespins, I think there's probably tacks even, and then I just added water. So if you have one of these magnet finders, you just put it to the side of your bottle, and then they can kind of playing around with that and see like what sticks out of the water, how can you separate them, how can you get them to all move, etc. So you'll have to play around like if you want to add more water to it or how you want to do it. And again, you'd have to have some kind of magnet finder for the outside. But this is cool that you can move something that's on the inside with something that's on the outside. So that's just something different that my kids liked to explore. So if I pick a bunch of it up, you can see tacks and brads, clothespins, paper clips, pipe cleaners, etc. And then again, it could just be something that like a baby would swirl around and look at the different colors and things like that. And again, it's just hot glued shut. So I just put all the magnetic stuff in, added some water. You can add more than what I added, hot glue, and you're done.